Hello everyone, welcome to a lesson here through the virtual class for standard 10th English. The name of the lesson is On Wings of Courage. Okay, and as you can see on your screen, you can see the picture of a fighter plane. Alright, so here wings doesn't mean the wings of a bird, but it means the wings of a plane. Alright, now let's see what this lesson is about. So this lesson is about the life of a very high ranking official in the Indian Air Force. Alright children, so what is the Indian Air Force? It is a division of the armed forces of India. So in this picture, what can you see? You can see many fighter planes, or you can say jet planes maneuvering in the air or maneuvering in the sky and performing certain kind of stunts. Now these fighter planes, children, they do not just perform stunts, but they are also a part of the armed forces as far as protecting our country is concerned. Alright, so now let us look at which are the other wings of the armed forces. So we have the Indian Army. So the very first emblem is an emblem of the Indian Army. So it is usually we try to understand the various armed forces by saying that the army protects the land boundaries of the country. The Air Force, which we are going to talk about today, we are going to talk about a very important, very decorated officer of the Air Force. The Air Force protects the water boundaries of our country, the air of our country, the airspace of our country. And the third one is the Indian Navy. So you can see an emblem of the Indian Navy also. So the Indian Navy, it protects the water frontiers of our country. And you can also see how the emblems are all unique from each other. So the Indian Army has got two swords, the Indian Air Force has got a bird flying, okay, and the Indian Navy has got the emblem or has got a picture of the anchor. Now these anchors are used in order to park ships or halt ships at particular places. So this is the, in short, what our armed forces are. We have many other paramilitary forces also, but these are the three main, you can say, divisions of the protection factor of our country. Okay, the armed forces of our country. They protect us not only on land but also in the air and on water. Okay, they are the ones who are responsible for safeguarding the freedom, for the independence of our nation. Alright, so they are very, very vital to any particular country. The armed forces should be strong. So how does the armed forces become strong? The armed forces gain a strength from the people who are part of the armed forces. So today we are going to talk about one such person and let us see who that person is. This person is Air Force Marshal Arjan Singh. So who was Air Force Marshal Arjan Singh, children? We will see in a small clip that I will show you after this, but let me tell you that we will not have time to read the entire lesson and explain the story to you. So what we are going to do is, we will first try and understand in a nutshell, in short, what the life of Air Force Marshal Arjan Singh sir was in this clip, and then we will move on and we will try and do the exercises which are part of this lesson in your textbook. Alright, so come on, let's watch the video in which you will see a glimpse of the life of Air Force Marshal Arjan Singh.
What Indian Air Force was in 1947 and to what glory it has reached in 2017 is all because of Marshal of Indian Air Force Arjan Singh, a fighter pilot, a war hero, reformist, a philanthropist and a legend. Arjan Singh died a hero on 16th September in Research and Referral Army Hospital in New Delhi. A 5-star general who always clad to his uniform. Marshal Arjan Singh was born on 15th April 1919 in Lyalpur, Punjab, now Faisalabad in Pakistan, in a distinguished military family. His father was a Lance Tafidar in the Hodson's Horse at the time of his birth and retired as a full Risaldar of the cavalry, serving for a time as ADC to a division commander. Arjun Singh was commissioned in the nascent Indian Air Force as a pilot officer in December 1939 at the age of just 19 years. On 15th August 1947, Arjun Singh led the first flypast of independent India over the Red Fort. He proved his leadership qualities in the two operational tenures on the Burma front during the Second World War, first as a pilot officer with Tigers Squadron and subsequently as the commander of the same squadron. As a consummate squadron commander, flying Hurricane fighters in defense of Imphal in 1944, besieged by the Japanese, he had displayed masterly leadership. In an unprecedented step, the then Supreme Allied Commander of the Southeast Asian Command, Lord Mountbatten, had personally awarded him the Distinguished Flying Cross on the battlefield for his leadership and performance in defeating the Japanese. Arjun Singh held many important posts in the Indian Air Force before taking over as Marshal in August 1964. The Pakistan Air Force was led by
Okay, children, so I understand that 2 minutes is actually a very small time frame in order to understand the life of such a distinguished person, but then we too have our shortcomings as far as time is concerned. So this was a glimpse of his life for you. You must have understood how distinguished he was, and the photos of many prime ministers, many presidents from around the world also you saw. He used to interact with such people. Okay, so that was a life of Air Force Marshal Arjun Singh for you. Now, like I told you, in the second part of the lesson, we will be doing the exercises or the vocabulary or the grammar study which are part of your lesson. So let us go and first see what we will study today. We will talk about homonyms today. So homonyms can be divided into two parts, that is homographs and homophones. So let us look at what homographs are. So what is the meaning of a homograph? Homo means same and graph means written. Alright, so homographs are two words which are written in the same manner, that is they use the same spelling. For example, here you can see in these little pictures, I will explain it to you in a very proper way also, but let us look at these pictures here. So you have a bow, okay, or as you call it a bow. So now one is a bow which you tie on your hair or on your this, and the second one is an action of bowing. Bowing means when you express your you can say respect to someone, you're bowing to someone, but the words look the same, B-O-W and B-O-W. Then we have a tear. Tear is a drop of water which comes out of your eyes. And then you have tear, when you tear a page apart, okay, divide it into two parts, tear. Again you will see the spellings are the same. Then you have record and record. Alright, one is when you're recording something, and the second one is a record as you have when you listen to music. Okay, so this is homograph. Homograph means meaning is the same, but the spelling is different. It is written differently, spelling is different. Let's look at the next one now. So you have homophones. So what are homophones? Homophones means that they sound the same. Two words, they may have different you can say spellings, they have different meanings also, but they sound the same to the ears. For example, write and right. Okay, W-R-I-T-E, right, and R-I-G-H-T, right. Then you have night and night. Knight is a kind of a soldier in the British Army in the ancient times, and now you have night, N-I-G-H-T, night, which means day and then night. Then you have see and you have see. Now one see means the verb seeing, looking at something, and the other see means it is the water body, the sea. Okay, so these are the two homonyms that we are supposed to study in this particular lesson. We have homographs and we have homophones. So let us look at each one of them in detail. So what is a homophone? A homophone is a word that sounds the same as another word or words, but it has a different meaning or a different spelling. So phone means sound. So it sounds the same, but the spelling may be different and the meaning is also different. For example, red and red. So one red is the color. See the spelling, it is R-E-D. Whereas the other red is when the past tense of read is read, R-E-A-D. Look at the next example here on the screen for you, flower and flower. One is flower as in bud, plant, tree, flower, and the other one is flour as in the powder form of any grain. Okay? So these are some common examples. Remember children, when I say homo, it means same, and phones, which means sounds. So homophones means when two words have the same sounds. See, these are all various examples. Okay? A ring is an ornament which you wear on your finger, and then there is a ring which is an action. You twist a piece of cloth in order to remove the water from it. Then you have stare and stare. So one stare is looking hard at someone, and the other stare is the staircase. Then you have chilly and chilly. One chilly, C-H-I-L-L-Y. It is related to the coldness of a place. It is related to the climate or the weather. And the other one is chili, which is a spice. Then you have burrow and burrow, sail and sail, cereal and cereal. So these are the various examples of homophones. So you can, when you see the video again, now children, this is a video and it is available to you on your phones or on your computers. So you can go back and see the video again and again and again in case you want to revise it. Okay? So once again, so these are all the examples of homophones. Now let us pick up a few examples from the textbook and let us try and solve them. So homophones, you're supposed to make sentences to bring out the differences in meanings. So let us look at the first one, W-E-A-R, wear, and W-A-R-E, wear. So one wear is the action of wearing something. Okay, so it is a verb, and the other wear is a thing, so it is a noun. Let's look at how we can use it in sentences to bring out the differences. Girls like to wear colorful clothes, and the other wear is the lady sells her wares on the platform. Look at the next one, here and here. So the policeman stands here. Now here means the place where the policeman stands, and the other one is hear means listening to someone. We can hear the church bells at home. Okay? Let us look at this. So here the sentences are given, and you have to find out what these homographs or what these homophones mean. So a bear is an omnivorous animal. So here the bear means an animal. And in the second example, she could not bear the injustice. Here the bear means tolerate. Okay? She felt that it was too much to bear, so she could not tolerate the injustice. Look at the next example. A bat is the only bird which is a mammal. So the bat here is a bird or it is a mammal. Look at the next one. His bat broke as it struck the ball. So here the bat means a sport equipment. Okay children, so now when we meet the next time, we will talk about the next part of this lesson in case time permits. So that is all for today. Thank you so much.